Hi, I'm Ellie, and this is your weekly theatre news recap. The show that I'm filming like 20 minutes before I need to leave and get a train to London. So I'm not editing this one. If I mess things up, it's just going to add to the chaos vibe of this series. But this is where I give you a recap and a rundown of all of the West End and UK touring theatre news that you may have missed over the week. I do these every single week. We're going to miss the first one. The first one is going to be missed over Christmas. There's going to be 1 week or like 2 weeks over Christmas where there's not going to be a recap because there's just no news. There's no news over Christmas. Don't expect anything. But anyway, getting into it, subscribe if you want more. Anyway, I'm not editing this one. I am straight up not editing this one. This one is not being edited. And if I mess up pronunciations of names or I mess up things, it's going in because I don't have time. I don't have time. Anyway, let's start as we always do. This is the most chaotic one I've ever done. Let's start, as we always do, with our casting news for this week. So, we got some further casting for Just for One Day. This is the Live Aid musical, which is heading to the Old Vic in January. I am very intrigued by it. I'm not sure what to make of it yet. I'm not really nostalgic for that era. Like, the most I know about Live Aid is Freddie Mercury. Like, that's like my association to Live Aid. I'm a little bit young. I'm a little bit too young for Live Aid, but obviously it is an iconic thing that I'm aware of, and I'm very intrigued to see what this musical does. I haven't even told you the news yet. Why am I? Anyway, we knew that there were loads of cast members already announced for this show, including Craig Ells, James Hamid, Freddie Love, Reese Wilkinson, and now we have some further casting, including Jason Bassisby. Wow, I'm already choking on my words. Cassiopeia Berkeley Ajapong. Ollie Dobson, who was the original Marty McFly in Back to the Future. Joe Edgar. Carrie Enright. Joe Foster. Colette Godot. She was in 6. She was in 6. Eddie Mann, AJ Lewis, Joel Montague, which is very interesting because he's taking a break from Hamilton to do this show and then he's going back into Hamilton, which is very, very interesting. Rachel Moran, Abiona Amonia, Jack Shalhoub, Danielle Steers, absolutely amazing actress. Oh my god, Danielle Steers is in this show? I haven't read this yet. Tamara Terre and Died Wineford. What a cast. I'm very excited for that. I've already given my thoughts, so I guess we're on to the next news. Cabaret. If you are really excited to see Jake Shears and Rebecca Lucy Taylor, aka Self-Esteem and Cabaret, guess what? You got more chances. They've extended until the 9th of March. So that's a decent 2-month extension onto their runs. I think they're the first to kind of have like that big of an extension. I know that Mason Alexander Park, I think when they were in the show, they had a slight extension, but it wasn't as big as this. That's the biggest extension since Frafi and Amy Lennox, which is very interesting. So you got more chance to go see them in Cabaret. I need to return to Cabaret. Talking of Hamilton, obviously with Joe Montague leaving the show for a few months while he is in Just for One Day, Hamilton has a returning King George. Harry Hempel will be returning to the production from the 15th of January to the 6th of April, with Joel Montague returning on the 8th of April. So you can use those dates to go see whichever King George you want. I don't know. I need to return to Hamilton as well. Oh my god, this is so chaotic. Cruel Intentions is next. Cruel Intentions is the next musical opening at the Other Palace. It's very exciting to see a new musical at the Other Palace as well. We've been waiting, and we now have a cast, including Josh Barnett, Daniel Bravo. As I said, if I mess things up, if I stutter, they're going in. I just have to deal with it. Jess Buckby, Abby Budden, Instagram famous TikTok star Abby Budden, Rose Galbraith, as well. I've written this really weirdly. I'm really hoping I'm not missing anyone. Rianne Louise Mikulski, and Barney Wilkinson. Have I missed someone? Oh, Nicola Kinunda as well. I'm sorry, I missed them. This is why I edit these videos. And finally in casting news, yesterday was the live finale of Mamma Mia, I Have a Dream. And we now know who is going into the West End and playing Sophie and Sky. If you don't want to know, skip like 20 seconds. Stevie Dock and Tobias Turley will be playing Sophie and Sky respectively in the West End. Very exciting. These two are very, very talented. I'm now being very careful not to spoil them because I said skip now. They've probably skipped to now, so I can't even say anymore who they are. But I feel like these two are very deserving. That finale was so close. I was like, anyone could take it. Anyone could take it. And I'm wishing the two runners-up the best. And that is all the casting news this week. Moving on to our miscellaneous news of the week. First off, the Old Friends cast album has released. Now, this is a recorded version of the 2022 cast and the 2022 version of the show, which I think is a little bit of a shame because we already have like the recording of that show. So I was kind of hoping that this would be a cast album of the current cast, of the 2023 cast. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. You got a cast album, bone up your teeth. Bone... yeah. Anyway. As well as that, we got the announcement that Kiss of the Spider-Woman is getting a film adaptation starring Jennifer Lopez. We are in a renaissance for musical films. We are getting so many. This is not one that I was expecting to get a film adaptation anytime soon. But it's going to be directed by Dreamgirls director Bill Condon. This is exciting. This is really exciting. Very unexpected. I think J-Lo could probably do this role quite well. I'm here for it. And finally, in miscellaneous news, we got the news that the English National Opera is making a partnership in Manchester. I'm going to read this verbatim, because I know I'm going to mess it up if I don't. So, the English National Opera has entered into a partnership with Greater Manchester to establish... See, I already messed it up, and I'm reading it verbatim. So, to establish a primary base for the renowned opera company within the city region by 2029. Now, they have made a clear statement that this does not mean that they are moving, and they're not abandoning their traditional home at the London Coliseum. But they will be doing and moving some operas up north, which is very great. Look, for some reason, Americans will love to travel 5 hours, but British people will not travel 1 hour. So I think it's great for like accessibility for the English National Opera to branch out and to bring more operas up north to people up in Manchester and Leeds and other places up in the north of the country. So this is great. This is great news. And finally, let's move on to talk about our transfers and new productions. First off, we got the next play heading into At Soho Place. Red Pitch, a transfer from, I think it was the Bush Theatre. I haven't actually got it written here, but I'm pretty sure it's from the Bush. Another play about football. Dear England, opening the doors. Red Pitch will be opening at Soho Place, at Soho Place, on Thursday, the 21st of March, and is running there until Saturday, the 4th of May. So this is very exciting. As well as I've already got the announcement that an Alan Turing musical, which is, I've heard little bits and pieces about it. It's been doing Fringe recently. It will be heading to the Riverside Studios from the 8th to the 27th of January, with Joe Bishop as Alan Turing and Zara Cook as multiple roles. This is very exciting. I'm not sure how an Alan Turing musical would work, but I'm very interested. I'm very interested, actually. That feels like it would have, like, this... I'm kind of, like, thinking musically that could be very interesting. And I think Alan Turing is a figure in British history who... It's a very tragic story. He was very... See, this is why I edit my videos. He was very needed. That's not the word. That's not the word to use. He was very important. He had a very important job in World War II, and he helped like crack loads of the codes from the Germans. So, like, he was a very important figure, but because he was gay, he was very much like ostracized, and I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct, he took his own life. So I think this is a figure in British history that we need to be like celebrating and we need to be lifting up. So Yes. Oh no. He was also autistic. I think he was also autistic. He was also neurodivergent. I'm trying to remember things about Alan Turing that I can't check because I have to film this in one take. Okay. My Alan Turing knowledge is I have some, and I don't know if I'm getting lines crossed, but yes. Next up, we got the announcement of the WhatsOnStage Awards nominations this week, as well as the announcement that Heba El-Sheikh and Tim Mahendran will be hosting the awards yet again. These two are joyful. These two are a perfect pair to host these awards. I'm not going to run through all the nominations. I'm going to do a guide video on the WhatsOnStage Awards like I did for the Oliviers last year. And I'll also do an Olivier's guide as well. So that will break down all the nominations. But if you need to know, Guys and Dolls is in the lead with 12. For plays, Dear England is in the lead with 10. Stranger Things did pretty well with 8. A lot of like new musicals like Mincemeat, Little Big Things got 4. Next to Normal got 6. The Effect got 5. There was something else that got 5 as well. That is losing my mind. And also, really excitingly, Lord of the Rings, the production outside of London, something that can't get nominated for the Oliviers, got 4 nominations as well, which is really exciting. I'm very glad to see that celebrated. So make sure you tune in for the WhatsOnStage Awards happening next year. You can book your tickets. Next up, I'm getting to the end here. We're getting to the end. I've actually made it through. I haven't messed up that many times. Normally, I mess these videos up so much. That's why they're so edited. But I'm actually going to talk a little bit about the Leeds Playhouse season because they announced some of their shows for next year, including a production of My Fair Lady, which is running from the 31st of May to 29th of June. There's a production of Paranormal Activity, like an adaptation that are doing live on stage from the 3rd of July to the 4th of August. There's an adaptation of Frankenstein in February, which is going on UK tour afterwards. There's a version of Robin Hood from the 5th to the 23rd of March. But I think the most interesting piece of news out of this announcement was the UK premiere of Here You Come Again, the Dolly Parton musical. Not to be confused with 9 to 5, the Dolly Parton musical. This is the Dolly Parton musical that takes her music, and not the Dolly Parton musical where she wrote the music. There's a difference. But what's very interesting about this production is that they are looking to bring this to the West End. So if you're near Leeds, you can get a first glimpse at this production. Very, very interesting. And finally in news this week, we got the announcement of a revival of the iconic play Waiting for Godot. Or Godot. Godot. Waiting for Godot. Godot. I don't know. I studied it and I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, this play, Waiting for That Guy, is being directed by James MacDonald and is starring Lucien I can't pronounce that name. Masanti? Yeah, Lucien Masanti, I'm going to assume. Somebody please correct me in the comments on my pronunciation there. And Ben Whishaw, with further casting to be announced. Which is very interesting because I think this is a two-hander. So, Samuel, this play is a two-hander, right? It's only got 2 cast members. So I guess that's going to be like Undertoys. Anyway, this is going to be opening in September 2024 at the Theatre Royal Haymarket. So if you want to see this play, it's a weird play. But you can go and check it out if you love a weird play. And that's all your news for this week. How did I manage that? Let me know all your thoughts. What are you looking forward to? What do you enjoy the most? Let me know everything in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video and you enjoyed me chaotically rambling the news at you, make sure you hit like and subscribe. It really helps me out, helps out the channel. Here's some links to my videos on the screen right now. They're right here, I'm right here, and they're everywhere. And there's also a link to my Instagram if you want to drop me a follow over there. But that's it for me today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. How did I manage this one? How did I do it?